Hey everyone, this is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row. Thanks so much for listening to the following broadcast, courtesy of Public House Media.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Today's verse of the day comes from Proverbs 29:11. A fool gives full vent to his anger, but a wise person holds it in check. Good morning and welcome to the next edition of Verse of the Day presented by Public House Media. I'm your host, Baxter Colburn. I'm thrilled that you are here for today's episode. A quick reminder for you, Verse of the Day is available for streaming anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever your favorite podcast platform might be. It's on there. I can almost guarantee you that you will find it at some place. And if it's not, let us know and we will be happy to submit the RSS feed to whatever podcast player that you might use. Also, a big thank you to Mana Vision Media for syndicating today's episode on Mana FM in Budapest, Hungary. If you have not checked out their station or the website yet, you can do so by heading over to manafm.hu. Let's embrace what God has in store for us today. If you were upset about something, where is likely the one place you would go just to get all your frustration out about that topic? More often than not, you'd probably say social media. Now, I realize that is probably a little bit of a generalization and likely something more geared towards you, the listener, that are probably a little bit younger, myself included. So for you that maybe are a little bit older, maybe not as tech savvy, picture using whatever, your favorite bar, your local diner, your hair salon, just for this example. So when you go to that place of venting and you really just got to get some frustrations out, right? Why do you feel like you just need to just let all of this foolishness, this ickiness just come out of you after some situation was bad? Usually it's because we want validation that we were indeed wronged or just want support for whatever our point of view might have been. Hence why we tell the world about whatever might be going on so we can feel better about ourselves, right? Even if we might actually be wrong, which of course never happens, right? See, if you're listening to this show in real time and not at a later date, today is April Fool's Day here in the United States, a day for tricks and fun at the expense of your coworkers, friends, and family. No saran wrap over the toilet seat, nothing like that, no crazy things. But most of the time, the pranks are usually harmless and something you can laugh off pretty quickly. At least I know that I can. However, there are, of course, those people that like to take things just a little too far at times and cross the line and make some very interesting choices with their actions or their foolishness, as it were. So I felt it was appropriate to talk today on Fool's Day about said fools. Our world is interesting, right? It's full of a lot of people that just don't get it. They run their mouths and they always feel like things are all about them and they should be entitled to more money, better jobs, and whatever the heck out people are complaining about these days. Sports, politics, take your choice, right? The funny part, though, is back in biblical times, people complained about basically the exact same things. Oh yeah, I know, it's hard to believe that, but who knew that vanity would be just something that would transcend countless generations? While the things people might be working towards are a little different these days, of course, the core concept of foolishness and never being satisfied drives our modern world still today. You can likely think of a lot of fools in your life, right? But what about the wise people? What about those who listen more than speak, and when they do speak, they usually offer outstanding wisdom and earth-shattering light onto whatever situation might be going on? There's three specific people that come to my mind in my life that do this on a pretty consistent basis, and those people are my grandpa, my father-in-law, and my brother-in-law. It's amazing to me because my grandma and my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law, I love all three of those ladies just over the moon and back, but they typically do most of the talking in their respective relationships, but also just in general, they're very talkative gals. So when my grandpa and my brother-in-law and my father-in-law, God bless their hearts, when they do anything, they do more listening than they do speaking. But when they do open their mouth and when they do speak, what I've noticed over my many years of being around them is that more often than not, those guys have some pretty profound wisdom that comes out of their mouth and usually can bestow some pretty important and powerful things on those around them. It's not like these guys are terrific scholars or anything exceptionally over the top, but they know how to process information and properly communicate and use their life experiences to guide and direct the conversations. It's something that I look deeply into on a daily basis as I look to try to live my own life accordingly and try to model exactly what they try to do in my professional life, my personal life, and my marriage and my relationships. See, it's so easy for us to speak our minds and run ourselves in circles with foolish talk, but when we take the time to listen and be more present in the moment instead of aggressive with those around us, it can bring tremendous benefit to our life. So I urge you, the next time something bad or unfortunate happens, don't run your mouth, don't sit on it, don't go just crazy telling everybody what's going on. I urge you to just take a step back for a minute and process what took place and figure out a clear plan of action so that you can tackle that new obstacle head on. It won't happen overnight, and you'll likely get frustrated with the process, but trust me, you'll come out better overall with taking that extra step of choosing to reflect and pray before reacting. I appreciate you joining me for today's episode of Verse of the Day. I hope that something that I said today maybe hit something for you that you've been dealing with. April Fool's Day, it's a lot of fun. It's a holiday that people really enjoy, but it's not just about the holiday. It's about who we are as people. It's about choosing our actions, our thoughts, our everything that we do on a daily basis to just be so honed into what God has in store for us. Being a fool is not something anybody wants to be known for. You look up to those people that are full of wisdom. Be that opportunity, be that light for someone in their life, and find those people that, like for me, like my grandpa, my brother-in-law, my father-in-law, that bestow such incredible wisdom on me and others in their lives. Find those people in your lives and stay close to them. Lean into them, ask good questions, and listen to what they have to say. And more importantly, the most wise and best person to do all of that, of course, is our Heavenly Father, God. So don't ever stray away from learning more about His wisdom through the Bible. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I look forward to having you on next time, and we'll enjoy the rest of our time together on Wednesday.